like the honeymoon period between Elon Musk and Donald Trump has finally come to an end? And Elon Musk has now announced that he is officially leaving the Trump administration. There seems to be a little bit of anger on Elon's side, not too happy about Donald Trump's GOP big spending bill after the work that he did with Doge. First and foremost, let's go ahead and get into his comments here, slamming Donald Trump's spending bill. Check it out.
Overnight, Elon Musk criticizing the president's massive spending bill, said he was disappointed to see it. Let's go to Capitol Hill. Correspondent Jay O'Brien with the latest. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, Michael, good morning. President Trump has been adamant he wants Republicans united behind his mega bill, full of a laundry list of campaign promises. But one top ally is still not on board this morning, Elon Musk. Overnight, President Trump's biggest ally coming out against his recent legislative victory.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Billionaire Elon Musk, who pledged to take a step back from politics, slamming the president's bill, which was pushed through the Republican-led House.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. My personal opinion.
For days, Musk has hinted at his discontent with the GOP bill, but his latest comments underscoring division within the Republican Party over their own signature legislation. The massive budget bill includes billions to renew construction of the border wall, along with billions more for defense spending and an extension of Trump's 2017 tax cuts.
This is where the money goes, ladies and gentlemen. It goes to items like this and also, of course, to defense, but not to healthcare. Let that sink in.
Which government estimates find will increase the deficit by nearly $4 trillion over 10 years. But the bill also makes significant cuts, slashing SNAP food assistance and making changes to Medicaid that could lead to more than 8 million Americans losing their insurance, according to early estimates. Now, Trump's massive legislative package is now in the hands of the Senate, where Republicans are expected to make significant changes and then send it back to the House. So the GOP infighting over this bill is far from over, Robin.
All right. Okay, so Elon Musk obviously was not happy about that bill. He basically feels like, well, this kind of goes against what I was trying to do with Doge. We're supposed to be trying to cut back spending, which Doge was a joke anyway. And here you are with this massive bill that is going to create more spending. Kind of seems like a slap in my face, right? So this is Elon's sentiment, but it's not just that. The reality is there has been tension between Donald Trump's administration, the other staffers, and of course, Elon Musk. It seems like every article that we've been reading, a lot of people just seem to have problems with Elon. People are having problems with him. He doesn't seem to know. He has no filter. That's what it is. He doesn't have a filter. He is basically took advantage of a situation that was, I guess, a position that was offered to him. And all of a sudden it was like he thought that he was King Elon. And it's really been pissing people off. Like not just Democrats, but people that are part of the Trump administration. They had issues with Elon Musk. So yeah, this just happened. Now he announces that he is donezo, fam.
It's now official. Elon Musk is leaving his role as a special government employee in the Trump administration, with a White House official confirming to me tonight that he's going to start the offboarding process this evening, which essentially includes paperwork. It's not totally clear what else. But we did see Musk post this on his own website saying, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I'd like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout government.
So let's pause here. So the exit here, it seems professional, right? So the exit seems professional, but at the same time, this is really a laugh. It's hilarious because it's like, you guys went on this whole tirade about how you were starting this Doge project and you're going to cut back on spending. And basically what you did is you cut jobs, like people lost federal jobs, right? That we talked about before. And then now you have this bill that Donald Trump tries to push through Congress which is actually massive amounts of spending. So you're spending more money after you told people there's too much money being spent. People lost their jobs because you said there's too much money being spent. And here goes more money that's being spent. But you're cutting funds when it comes to things like, Medicare and SNAP benefits, but you have money for other things. So yeah, it makes Doge laughable. It makes it a joke. And at this point, like I said before, Elon should have never been a part of this administration to begin with. He should have just stuck to what he was doing. Try to get X working right, okay? Fix X first, because X has had a number of issues, especially over the past couple of weeks. Get that done. I don't know. How about let Tesla employees have the option to join a union or unionize? Things like that. There is no reason why he needed to be a part of that administration, but he donated a lot of money, and that's how he got there. Money talks. So now it's almost like he has egg on his face.
This is all coming as Musk has recently tried to distance himself from the administration to a degree, including when he criticized the president's big, beautiful bill, something the president was asked about today and essentially shrugged off.
Well, reactions, a lot of things. Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We can't be cutting. We need to get a lot of support, and we have a lot of support. We will be negotiating that bill, and I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it. That's the way they go. It's very big. It's the big, beautiful bill, but the beautiful is because of all of the things we have.
Here's what Elon Musk had to say about that bill, which the Congressional Budget Office has estimated would add more than $3 trillion to the federal deficit.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing. I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both.
So this part right here, right? So obviously it goes against what Doge was supposedly, what it was supposed to be for. But I got to say something here about this budget and this deficit, because this is important to say. And I'm trying to see if I can get Steve Grumbine to come back on the show to have a deep dive again about MMT, because here's the thing. The whole idea of a debt ceiling is a myth. And this is something that I had to learn along the way. I first heard about this, I think it was 3 years ago now, that I learned about MMT, which is modern monetary theory. This whole idea that we have, oh my God, we have this deficit ceiling. We cannot go above this ceiling. It's right here, this threshold. This is all a myth. Did you know that the government can actually mint a coin? The government can mint a coin and spend it as they want to. And the interesting part about this, when I talked to Fadil Kaboub about this, who's also very knowledgeable about MMT, I did ask him, do politicians in DC, are they aware of modern monetary theory? Are they aware that the government can just mint a coin? And Fadil Kaboub said, well, yes, I know for one, Ro Khanna knows about this, but you never hear them talk about it. You never hear them talk about this. They're all aware of this. This is all a distraction, folks. This whole idea that oh my God, we're in trillions of dollars of debt. We have a debt ceiling and we're over this amount. It's ridiculous. And when you learn about MMT, then you start to see that this is a joke. The government prints money as it always has. So even the whole discussion around the budget and the deficit, et cetera, they're not being honest with you. They're not telling you the full story. They're not telling you about MMT. And a lot of economists know about this as well. So Elon is out. He is departing. And I don't know what Elon's going to do, but I think Elon just needs to stay out of politics. Get out of that. Stay out of that. You got the things that you wanted. I'm sure he got some of the government contracts that he wanted. He was able to bring over some Afrikaners from South Africa here. What he wanted. That was his way of hitting back at South Africa, the president of South Africa. So you got what you wanted, but maybe just stay out of politics. Period. A mess. We'll go on a little bit more here.
My personal opinion.
My source on all of this tonight is the veteran tech journalist, Kara Swisher. And Kara, it's great to have you here. What do you make of Elon Musk officially leaving his role that he is tonight?
Well, it's a long goodbye, isn't it? I mean, he seems to be leaving and going out. He needs to work on his company. This was inevitable that he was not going to stay there very long. And it pushed along by the fact that his businesses are a bit in distress. And so he needs to pay attention and do his actual job.
Do you think he's actually leaving?
I think he's probably frustrated by the pace of government. And when he goes back to his companies, he says jump and they say how high. At the government, they don't do that. And I think he found a lot more difficulty in finding real cuts and everything else. And I think they're only sending $9 billion in Doge cuts which is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket, which means pretty much his effort was a failure.
Yeah, that's what they're planning to say.
And there it is, folks. It was a failure. And it was a waste of time. It was a waste of his time. And it was a waste of your time. This is all a joke. Jokety joke. You know, looking back on it, maybe it was a good thing that Vivek got away from this as quickly as he could, because there were issues there, obviously, between, with Elon and Vivek and the rest of the Trump administration as well. But it's probably a good thing looking back on it that he was able to get as far away from this as possible. Here's the thing. People don't like to fail. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to fail today. That's not how things work. And then Elon Musk, who is on his way to apparently becoming a trillionaire, you think he wants to fail? You think he's happy about this? Not only did you fail, it's one thing to try to, let's start a business here and it doesn't work out. That's not all over the news. You failed in government. You failed on the world stage, and you put yourself out there like a clown, thinking that you were king in the White House. And it's embarrassing. So hopefully he'll go back to whatever the hell it was he was doing before and just stay out of politics. Period. That's what I hope happens.
End up to the hill based on what we know so far. But I mean, $9 billion might sound like a ton of money to someone who's watching. But when you think about his stated goal of $1 trillion to cut coming in,
$2 trillion at first,
$2 trillion initially, then that was halved to be more realistic.
Yeah,
I think that puts it more in perspective of how much there was this high bar that they did not reach.
No, it's what they spent on paper clips. I mean, it's really not a lot, and he didn't find it. He was able to do it because he made cuts in particular areas, some of which were regulating him, like foreign budgets, maybe attack NPR, attack things like that. But it wasn't significant cutting that they were talking about, which is reforming government extensively. And as he correctly pointed out, you can't have a bill that's big and beautiful. You can have one or the other. And Musk can do math, I think, and he understands the deficit. This $2.3 billion or more raising the deficit is very dangerous for this country, which was something I think he genuinely wanted to help fix.
These people are all actors. All actors, folks. Yeah, I don't think Elon Musk really cares, like in that sense. I think he has a big ego. I think he likes a lot of attention. And I think he's just looking for other ways to, again, make more money for himself, because it's never enough. No matter how much these billionaires make, it's never enough to make more money for himself and to have more government contracts for his businesses. So I think that's what this is really about. He got what he wanted. Now he's out of there. Don't come back. Hit the road, Jack. Don't come back. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.